Okay guys, so what is our goal? So we have two test cases. Number one, we go to salesforce.com and then click on that try for free. Over there we are going to input the values, right? And then we are not going to click on start free trial. And another test case is we are going to click on that login button and we are going to input a user ID and password and click on login, and then error message will come because we do not have a username, to make sure that the error message is being displayed in the screen. So we are going to use testNG framework to do that. So I am going to create a brand new example, right? New project, and it will be a Java project again, and then I'll name my project testNG and Salesforce. Okay, and yeah, I'm recording. I am recording this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say finish, and then testNG and Salesforce. I'm going to go there. I'm going to create a class. Okay, I'm going to create a class. New. Oh yeah, I'm going to create a package here. Okay, so in this particular project, one thing, if you see, right click and then can you see testNG? In your case, remember, initially you will not have testNG. So what you will have to do, you will have to go to help, and then can you see that Eclipse Marketplace? You go there, and then give it a little bit time. Like you saw that initially I have already testNG because I have installed testNG. So what you will do here, can you see, you will be typing testNG, and then you will say press enter. I'm giving it a little bit time for it to finish the search. Okay, now can you see that there is a testNG for Eclipse? This one, in my case, it is already installed. In your case, you will be installing. Once you have installed testNG for Eclipse, right? Then you will come here. Let's say you create a new package. I'm going to keep the name as it is. And here I'm going to say, now can you see that testNG create testNG class, right? I'm going to create a testNG class, and I'm whatever name it is coming, right? Class name I'm going to say, let's say my method class. Okay, and here can you see before method, and then can you see after method? Actually before method, and we will say after test. Okay, and then we will say finish. Okay, now we have this testNG class. Now it is complaining about few of the thing. Okay, few of the thing it is complaining. Let's say if I put my cursor here, can you see add testNG library? You bring the testNG library. Now all of the errors are gone, right? Since you brought the testNG library, everything is gone. Okay, now in before, can you see this is the actual test, and then we have a before method, and then we have a after test method. Okay, So what I am going to do here, in the before, can you see this before method? In the before method, we are going to do something. The before method, what it will do is, before it execute any test, any of this test, it will execute this before method. Now before that, I will be declaring my WebDriver object, right? WebDriver my WD equal to new WebDriver. Okay, so now when you actually, I'm not going to initialize this WebDriver here. I'm going to say this, and you will have to remember that you will be able to create a WebDriver object once you have the Selenium library. Do I have Selenium libraries here with this project? No, right? We will have to bring the Selenium library by going to the build path, configure build path, and then here, can you see libraries, add external libraries, and then you point out where you have the libraries. Remember, we have downloaded these libraries previously, right? So I'm going to say this is the library version that I'm going to use. So these two library, and then I have few additional libraries inside here. So let's get all of the libraries and then say apply and close. Now if you come here, if you put your cursor here, you will see that you can import the WebDriver. Okay, now you have the WebDriver, and now this WebDriver initialization we are going to do in the before method. We are going to say WebDriver equal to new, okay, new, and then what is that? This is a new. We are going to do Chrome driver. We are going to do the automation in Chrome driver and semicolon. Now we will have to bring Chrome driver related libraries. Okay, now I have declared the Chrome driver. Now remember that before you declare a Chrome driver, right, you have to do another line here, right? You have to have system dot set property. Do you remember the way we did it? System dot set property, and then here you will have to put your driver and the path of the driver. Here you put what? Chrome driver dot, right? Oh, actually WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, and then here you put where you have Chrome driver, right? Let me take a look in a previous, like normally in your drive, right? In your drive you have your Chrome driver saved. So I'm going to see the location of a previous example where I have my Chrome driver. So I have my Chrome driver here in this part. I'm going to take this from here and I'll be going to that. So now I have my, let me put a semicolon. Now I have my WebDriver. So here in my actual test, I can use that WebDriver. This is my actual test. Can you see at test annotation, before method annotation, after test annotation? This annotation is, this is your test. Before you test, it will be executing this method, and after you test, it will be executing this method. Now what I am going to do here in my actual test, I'll say my WebDriver dot, right, get, and then I'll be giving the URL. And what is the URL? www.salesforce.com. Salesforce.com. And let's say instead of F, I'm going to say, let's say that I'm going to name it as Salesforce registration. Salesforce registration. Now you put a print statement here, system.out.println, and then you put here, okay, opening browser. Okay, now you run it. So when you run it, right, okay, let me see what happens. Can you see it has opened the browser, and then it is showing some error message here. We'll take a look at what is this, what are these error messages. So it is complaining about what? Let me see. This version of Chrome driver only supports Chrome version 80, right? Chrome version 80. So Chrome version 80, so probably I'll have to download the latest Chrome driver. I'll have to download the latest Chrome driver. 1 second. Okay, let me see where I have my Chrome driver. What kind of version do I have here? So you come here, Selenium and Chrome driver, right? This is the Chrome driver. Let me take this Chrome driver. I think no, this is older. So I will be going back to this folder, probably here somewhere. I have this Selenium Webdriver and code, slides, resources. Over there I have the Chrome driver. This is the Chrome driver that I'm using, right? Let me see in my code. Resources Win32. So okay, let me copy this and put it here. And here, right? Now if I execute, I'm giving a different I think I'm trying to give a latest Chrome driver. Okay, still I have this Chrome driver related issue. So let me see. Session not create. This version of Chrome driver only supports Chrome version 79, right? Chrome version 79. Okay, so let me download the latest Chrome driver. Download Chrome driver. Okay, so this is the latest one, 83, right? Or 84, right? Let me download this 84 version of Chrome driver. And let me take it to here. My Selenium driver. Let me put it here. Okay, so if I take it from here, let me see how it goes. Okay, let me run it one more time. I think I have several this. Close these folders, then I have more things to see. Closing this, closing that notepad. Don't see. Okay, Camtasia, I don't need it at the moment. Okay, now let me run it one more time. Still I am having issue. So let me do this. So can you see? I'm going to download the latest Selenium library. Download Selenium Webdriver. Probably my library, those I have here, is older, so I'm going to download this is the latest stable version, right? This is the latest stable version. Let me download this and let me keep and let me show in folder. Ji Baba. Ji Baba. So here can you close the door, Teddy? Let me go to my download folder. This is the latest library that I have downloaded. Oh, Selenium server, right? I do not want Selenium server. Actually, I need Selenium libraries. Selenium, so it will be, if I go a little bit down, can you see this? Selenium library for Java. That is what I'm going to download. So I'm going to go there in my download folder. This is the latest one that I have downloaded. From here, I'm going to put this library here and then I'll extract them. Okay, so now you come here, you extract all, right? Can you see? If you do extract all here, let me create a, okay, let me do extract all here. Now let me remove this zip file. I do not need it anymore. And the older library, so now it is here, right, in this part. Now I'm going to go to my project and I'll be in this one, right? I'm going to go to my build path. I'll be going to go to my configure build path, and here all of the libraries that I have brought, right, I'm going to remove. Now my code will be not be working at the moment. So I am going to, now if you say apply and close, can you see all of the libraries are gone? So that's why you see this error, right? Now I'll be going back there, build path, configure build path, and then I'll set, right? And then I'll come here in this latest one that I brought here. Let me take this too, and then let me go to this libs folder and bring it, apply and close. Now all of this error should be gone, right? Now let me see how it goes. Select Java application. Let me just close it. I'm going to run it as this one, right? Run as testing. So still I'm having issue, right? Let me see. Now what is saying, the session is not created. The version of the Chrome driver only supports Chrome version 84. Now it is saying I'll have to download Chrome version 84. But last time when I have downloaded, which version I have downloaded? Was it 84 or 83? Support Chrome version 84. So if I go there again, probably my Chrome, let me download Chrome driver. Let me see if I go there. So now Chrome version 84 is this one, right? If you are using Chrome version 84, please download this, right? Right, actually I have downloaded, I think, Chrome version 84, but if you take a look here, one thing, the Chrome that I'm using, if you go to help and then if you go to settings, right, and then can you see about Chrome, what version do I have? 83. So that's why now it was creating issue. So I will have to update that. So how do I update that? Chrome version 84. Let me see. Settings, help about Chrome. So 83, right? 83. For 83 Chrome version 83, it is not updating. So let me see. For 83, what do I have? For download Chrome driver. For 83, this is the one. Let me download this. Download Chrome. Show in folder. So this is the latest one. I do not need this. Let me remove this. And this one, I'm going to take it to my project folder. This older version, I'm going to remove it. It says it is being used, so let me put it here, the one that we have now. Okay, let me go to downloads, and this is the one, Control X, and this PC, and I'm going to put this in a good folder. That's the resources. I'm going to remove all of this older driver from here. Let's see. So let's say that I do not need this, so let me just delete this. Some of them they cannot delete because it's being used. this is the one that I have just put. Yeah, this is the one that I have downloaded. So let me see, delete this and unzip that. Okay, and then let me take this path from here and put it in my code. Okay, now let's do another execution. Now what? Still we have error message, right? Okay, let me see. So failure 1. Let's see. Now it is not complaining about. It is complaining about. Can you see now it is not saying that session is not created. Now it is complaining about invalid argument. We will take a look what is that invalid argument. So let me see what line it is complaining. So it is saying that Chrome browser version is good. Invalid argument, right? Where is that invalid argument? If I go a little bit up, opening browser, after opening browser it was not able to open the browser. So if I come here, webdriver.chrome.driver, and then this argument, right, mywebdriver.get. So I will have to copy this URL from there. Let's say if you copy Salesforce, right, and then you copy this URL from here, you go there, you put it here. Okay, now you run it. Okay, now Salesforce is open. Okay, so far what is your question? Please come forward with the question. We are able to successfully open the browser, but I know that you will have a lot of questions. Please feel free to bring your question here. Okay, guys, what is the question, please? What I did so far?
But I think probably when we working on the Selenium browser stuff, like the last time, whatever I faced, I stopped the update. So I can hold my recent one and continue with my project.
But let's say, Nabed, let's say that if your latest, you saw that, right? If you download latest Selenium library, and then you will have to, can you see that if it shows an error message, okay, it only works with 83, then you download the Chrome driver for 83, right? You can download Chrome driver 83 and it will work. So I had to download a few times to adjust. Okay, this is my Selenium library. This Selenium library is Chrome driver 83. So I have downloaded Chrome driver 83. Now it is running. Up to this, you have like, can you see like what we have used here, right? Now, if you take a look, guys, can you see this results? When you use testNG, can you see Salesforce registration, right? Salesforce registration. Let's say that you have another test. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put here. This is my, let's say, my one of the test cases Salesforce registration, and I said the other test case is Salesforce login, right? Salesforce login. Now let's say this test case, Salesforce registration opening browser, right? And here, let's say that you want to, instead of this, you want to say, okay, this is my registration class, registration test case. Where is it going? This is my registration test case. This is my registration test case, and then I think there is a complaint here. This is my registration test case, and then I'm going to say here, this is my login test case. Login test case. Now, in both cases, we have to open browser, right? Let's say another statement here. Opening browser. Here, opening browser. For your registration test case, next step will be, can you see now, previously it was one test case. Now if you run your code again, but can you see that you have, it has open browser, and then it is open browser, it is opening browser again, because I have now two test case, right? I have two test case. Let me close all of this browser, and then can you see, if you go to your testNG result, can you see you have how many test case? Salesforce login, Salesforce registration. Okay, if you have 100 test case, a list of 100 test case will be appearing here, and you will be able to see summary. Okay, if it is passed, if it is failed, right? If there is any problem, you'll be able to see all of the problems. Now, let's say as a part of your registration test case, the next step will be you open the browser and go to Salesforce. As a part of your registration test case, you will have to click on that try for free, this one, right? So what you do, you inspect it, right? Try for free is a span. Can you see what is that element? Is a span, right? Is a span, and what text it has? Try for free. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to write here. After opening browser, I'm going to say my Webdriver dot, right? My Webdriver dot find element, and then by dot xpath, and here I'm going to give my xpath. Now how do I give xpath? Right, I put // and what is the name of that object? Span. The name of the object is span, and then put your box bracket, and in the box bracket, what is the attribute that you are going to use to identify that object? I'm going to use text attribute. And then what is the value of that? So I'm going to use text attribute. This is additional. I'm going to use text attribute, right? And then text attribute equal to single quotation this. So it seems like it has, in this text attribute, can you see there are some, okay, it has spaces. Can you see this text attribute has spaces? Let me put this text. If it works, I will put it. So I'm going to put the text, and then after that I'll have to close another parenthesis, and then find element by dot, and then I want to click on that element. Okay, so let's see if it works, and then I'll provide more information. I'll answer your question. If I run it one more time, so it has opened two of the browser. Okay, I'm closing the first browser, and then can you see this is the second browser? It was not able to click on it. Can you see two test case failure, one, right? Can you see one failure? Now if you go to the result summary, can you see actually if you go to the testNG result, can you see all test cases? This is failed, this is passed. So in this fail, it was not able to click on this because the problem was, if you go there, this span, if you double click, can you see it has a next line character? You copy this, and if you put it in on a what is called, let's say if you put it on a notepad, can you see it is putting an empty line? That means as a part of the text there are empty lines. So what I'll have to do here, I'll have to put it in a way, instead of this, right, it has a next line character, right? So if I paste it here, can you see this next line character, the way it included the next line character and put a plus. Now if you run it, let me see if I run it, what happens. So if you now execute, you will see that the impact, probably the way we put the code. Okay, let me see if it is going through. Okay, now if I close this browser, still it was not able to click on that, right? Still it was not able to click on that, and we'll see still we have failures. So something is, let's say that I do not want to have this. Okay. Next line character is, if you put a this, if you put this, that should be sufficing, like backward slash n means next line character. If I execute it, okay, so let's say that I do not want to execute this login because I didn't do anything on this login. So what you can do here, enable equal to false, enable equal to false, and enable will be uppercase. Let me see, enable, right? Enable, change to enable, it will be lowercase. Enable false. Oh, enable, right? Let me see, enable, right? Enable equal to false. Now if I execute one more time, now it should execute only one test case. Okay, it is not executing another test case, right? Okay, so with this link it is not clicking. Let me see if I can, I'll go back to that, but if I inspect this, how does it look like? So in this particular, if it is easier, start my free trial, inspect, right? Now this span doesn't have any complexity. I'm going to take this and see if it works for me. I do not need it. Anything. Okay. Text equal to. Okay. So was it able to click at this time? Let me see. It was not able to click, right? Let me see what is the error message that it is giving me. So if you come here, if you scroll up, you will see that no such element. Okay, we are trying to uh, unable to locate element, right? Can you see start my free trial? And if you take a look, selector span, and then we are giving text, right? Text and equal to start my free trial, and then closing the box bracket, and it is complaining that we do not have such a element. So let me see if I put a 5-second wait time here, if it change anything. After opening the browser, let's put a 5-second wait time. So I'm not going to give a thread.wait. My WebDriver dot manage. My WebDriver dot I think window driver dot manage dot window dot wait. Yeah, let's put 5 seconds. Is it resolving the issue? Okay, great. So okay. Let me see. We have declared this implicit wait. Implicit wait in Selenium is implicit wait in Selenium. Yeah, yeah, this is the one, implicit one, right? Driver.manage.timeouts.implicitly wait. Okay, so let me take this from here and put it in my code. My manage.implicitly wait, and then let me put, instead of 30 seconds, I'm going to put 10 seconds, and I'll have to import timeout. Yeah, import time unit. Okay, now let me run it one more time. Now we are waiting. Now it is clicking on it because we were interacting with that element too fast, right? Okay, so now let me keep this. Let me keep this syntax. It is working for us, but I am going to try to click on that other object. So I'm going to comment it out, and I'm going to. So what is that other object that I have? Start my free trial. So other object is try free, right? This one, try free. So this one I'm going to directly copy, and I'm going to put it here, right? And since I have the wait time here, now let me see how it goes. I have a wait time here, and after that 10-second wait time, and then it was not able to click on it, right? So let me see what is the complaint it is saying. You will see that unable to locate this element with this. So try to, I'm going to see if I can correct it a little bit. Let me see. Now if I put it, let me see what happens. it didn't work. So I'm going to try another way. So text, right? I will be putting something this up to this, text equal to up to this, right? So here I'm going to put another thing. I'm going to put a parenthesis. I'm going to put a parenthesis here. I'm going to remove that empty space and I'm going to put contents, right? Let me run one more time. I'll be answering your question soon. Is it done here? Again error message, right? Let me see what is that error message. So now it is complaining invalid selector, unable to locate an element with XPath contains. So text, when you put contains, it will not be equal, it will be comma. Let me run one more time, and before that let me close all of these unnecessary browsers. Can you see all of the browsers are building, right? So we will have to find a way to close this browser. You might see there are more browsers here. No, okay, so now you run it. Now can you see it is clicking? Okay, it was able to click now. So both of my way it worked, like I was able to click on both of the elements. So what I had to do, if you take a look in this particular place, right, it has span and probably there are spaces. That's why directly putting this text it will not work. So what I had to do, I had to put contents. Contents means, okay, make sure this text is present, but before this text there might be some other thing. After that text there might be some other thing. So ignore whatever you have, ignore it, but make sure wherever you see this try for free and there might be some other thing, click on that particular span. Okay, I have written them. Now let me see. So if you take a look here, right, how many test cases executed? One, because the other test case we have disabled. So this is like in testNG. One other thing you notice that when you are using testNG, you do not have to have a main method. I haven't have any main method here. And other thing you notice here that every time it is opening the browser. So after test, right, after test you can put something here, my browser dot close, right, close. So what will happen basically, let's say that if I enable this test case, now I have two test cases. Now if you execute it, you will see that there will be no browser left after the test. Okay, it has opened the browser and it is open, it will be clicking on the try for free link, right, try for free link, and then it has closed the browser, right? Is it closing the browser? Actually it is not closing the browser. Let me do this. So here instead of after test, I'll be putting after method. After method. Now if you execute it one more time, you will see it will not keep any browser left behind. So it is complaining about something. Terminated. Okay, let me execute this in this way.
you guys using the two class like the one main method or
Yeah. Even in testNG we will have another method. I've just started discussion, so you will see that I'll bring another method. So you see that now it is opening the browser. It will be right. It has done this. Is it closing the browser? It is still not closing the browser, right? So here my WebDriver dot close, right? After, oh, actually before method, here I'm going to put before method and after method. After method, right? And after method you will have to import after method. Now if you execute it, run as testNG, can you see it has closed the browser by itself? It will open the browser, it will open the page, and then it will be, so it is executing how many times? One browser is still left behind, right? Okay. So here it is closing browser, but for this one again it is opening the browser, and after that it was not able to close it. We'll take a look at it. But for up to this, right? So before method, can you see every time you have a test case, it will be executing before that test case, it will be executing this method. So what it will do, it will be opening the browser. Basically it will be creating the browser, and then it will be opening the browser. So let me put this here. Instead of opening browser in every place, I'm going to put the browser, opening the browser here. And I'm going to remove the opening browser, this one from here. So here in this method, in login, my target is to click on the let me close this, click on the login button. Now you inspect this login button, and can you see this is a link? Let me just bring this. Okay, it is hiding the login login respect. So this login, what is my login? Is a span again, and it has text login, right? So I'm going to write syntax for that. I am copying this. I'll have to put the timeout, make sure, otherwise it will not work. And then in that cells for login test case, I'm going to come here. Now let me remove this. Actually, let me comment out this. Let me bring that on back. And here, span text equal to what? Login. Right? So now, if I execute both of this test case, it has opened, and then was it able to click on login? Probably not. I'll see if there is any error message. I will see it. Okay, it has opened it, and then let me see, it should be done by now. So there is a failure. Okay, if you go to your result, you will see that the login one is failed, right? The login one is failed, and let me see if I go to the error message. What is the failure? Can you see here the failure? It is saying that my method 31. So here, when I am trying to identify that object, probably it was not able to identify that object. So let me look at the console message and see what is the complaint. No such element. Element is not interactable, right? So let me, for now, the other test case is fine. So I'm going to disable this test case where I'm clicking on start my free trial, right? I'm going to disable that. Enable equal to false, and I'll be executing only the login one, right? Let me execute that. It was not able to click on it. So let me see what is happening with that. I go there. I have another browser open here. Do I have any other browser? This one, right? So let me close this, and then what is this login? If I click on this login, it will take me there. Right? Now if I inspect there, so it is something else here. So it is the object is going away. So this object is not drop down. So can you see again that login is with something else, right? Now can you see this is a link, this is a hyperlink, and this hyperlink has what? This hyperlink, this is what is, it likes text, but there are few issues here. One second. Hyperlink, and then if you double click, yeah, it seems like this is a hyperlink with href. This we are going to identify that one in another way. Can you see? It is a hyperlink and it has a href attribute. And what is the value of href attribute? This. Copy link address. Okay. Now I'm going to go there. Here, Salesforce login. So instead of this is a span, this is a hyperlink, and then we are going to use at href attribute. And what is the value of the href attribute? This login dot this, right? Now let me run it one more time. Okay, it was still, it was not able to click on that link, right? So find element by dot xpath and a add href. We have given the attribute. Let me see what error message we get now. Element not interactable. So it is complaining about that element not interactable. So what I am going to do is I'll have to, let's say that when this page comes, right, if you run it, this page comes, and here I see that link, right? And then I see that link, right? Let me see. Element not interactable. So a href this class background table data table background tab index -1. Okay. This. Let me see another way, partial link text. My webdriver dot find element by dot link. Can you see that partial link text? Let me see if it works. Login and then dot. Okay, let me run it one more time. So basically now it was able to click, right? Let me execute again. You see it was now able to click on it. Okay, so what is happening here after clicking? If you do not have, like, can you see it was closing the browser as well? But if you do not have this my webdriver.close in the after method, right? Now if you run it one more time, now can you see your login page is there? Okay, so what is happening here? If I go back and if I inspect this, you will see that this particular, let me just remove it, and if I inspect it, right, can you see it is still not taking me to there, right? Let me close it and let me make it bigger. Let me inspect, and where is my particular link? This object is a little bit critical in terms of when you inspect, right? How it appears, it is a little bit critical. So not this, right? Okay, let me just inspect from here. So if you inspect this object, basically this is not the right one that we are looking. So let me, actually I'll have to let me not inspect it from here, instead inspect it from here, from the browser that is opened by code node. I'm inspecting it from the browser that I manually open. Now can you see here, this is a link, since it is a, and if you click here you will see the text. Now the text is, it has double quotation, spaces, empty lines, right? So that's why I didn't say by link text, I say partial link text. I said, okay, look for this text and there could be some other thing with it. So when you say that find element by dot partial link text, that means with this text you have some other things, right? So up to this, guys, do you have any question? Do you think you will be able to accomplish up to this for the next class? I've recorded this session. I'll be sending it to you. But do you think you are okay up to this? Remember that you already have written a lot of code. You have used link text, partial link text, span, right? All of this you have used.
Yeah, open like twice a browser or just one time?
Okay, so now here what is happening? Let's say if you bring this, like one of the test case was disabled, right? So let me bring this both of these test case, right? Now you execute it. So before method, it will be opening the browser for you. Every time it will execute a test case. Can you see? The login is there, and then it is opening the browser one more time, and then it will be clicking on try. Can you see? It is there, right? Both of the test case worked. Now, so here the opening part of the test case is done in the before method, and can you see we didn't close the browser, it is disabled. So every time how this testng works, this is a test case. When you see this add test annotation, this is a test case. So before the test case, it will be opening the browser with this URL, and then it will go to the test case. It will be finishing all of this task, and after that, can you see here, before it executes this method, it will be opening the browser one more time, and then it will be clicking on login email. Does it make sense, Nabed? So before method means this, before whatever you have inside the before method, it will be executed every time you have a test annotation. Very good.
Okay, wait. So video right after 12 p.m.
Video I'll try to upload it by tonight. As soon as possible. I'll be starting processing after this class. But guys, see, you practice. You
করার মেইন হচ্ছে যে আমরা স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ মেথড লিখতে পারবো বিফোর দ্য টেস্ট আফটার দ্য টেস্ট
yes,
we can specify much more, right?
yeah. So normally in a practical situation you will have hundreds of test cases. So you will be able to modularize your test cases. You can say test case one.
You can call this like before.
Yeah, we are going to call this. This is the initial step. We will have to initially all of this method we will have to put it in the method, and then we will be calling. This is the first step of testing. Okay, so practice that and see like how much you can achieve. Nipa, are you in the call still? So how is it look like to you?
Look over it. It was kind of too much information.
Yeah, that's why I wanted, like, if you are okay, but I have recorded. If you are not okay, I'll be discussing it again in the next week's class. It's very straightforward concept. You try to follow from the recording. If you cannot follow, I'll be discussing same thing again in the next class. Okay, don't worry, I'll be discussing, I'll be putting more details in the next class as well. Okay, all right guys, so I will conclude this session here. Again, practice, do not take stress, take it easy, relax and start. Okay,
So send me the first one,
yeah,
on the construction, and then other stuff, and this one.
yeah, I'll be sending a separate email for you, Nabed, that you need to practice. Okay,
And the last class,
I'll be sending the last class as well. Yeah, I have processed the video, I'll be putting everything. All right guys, so basically I'm going to take longer classes, and you have to be serious now. I was very busy with my MBA. I'm done with it. Now you are my MBA. Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, bye.
Yeah.